Oh, wow. I've got to get this right because high school counts. When my older daughter was in eighth grade, I realized that I needed to start planning for homeschooling high school, and that high school was different and it counted. Not like all the previous years of homeschooling didn't mean anything. We had been homeschooling her since second grade, but the fact that her coursework and grades would end up on a formal transcript that would be sent out to colleges, etc., gave me some apprehension. And I really didn't know where to begin. Does this sound familiar? You're feeling some trepidation and need to gain some clarity? Well, not to worry. This workshop series, which I'm sharing as 4 subsequent YouTube videos, will lead you through 4 easy steps to map out a high school plan. Basically, an academic framework customized to your child. It will give you great clarity and build your confidence for homeschooling the high school years. Hey, I'm Kathleen Rumford, a former software engineer by education with a very logical mind, and I break down problems into smaller pieces in order to create a process to solve the problem. And that's what I did with planning out homeschooling high school for both my daughters, who I homeschooled over the course of 15 years. And I've since shared this process with many others, and now with you. To make sure you don't miss any of this series or other videos on homeschooling high school, please like this video and subscribe to my channel. Let me segue here to talk real quick about the Homeschooling Through High School Facebook group that I started a few years back for homeschooling parents of 6th to 12th graders to ask questions, get support, share opportunities, etc. One of the Facebook group membership questions I ask when people join is, what's something that is most on your mind with homeschooling the late middle school through high school age group? And many people respond that they want to make sure they don't miss anything, or they want to make sure that they get it right, or they want to make sure that they have courses and classes that will get their kids into college. They don't want to mess up their child's future, and they want to know how to create a great transcript. Sound familiar? Yep, those are the same things I was thinking during those years also. Well, this workshop will help give you clarity and confidence around those questions and more, and you'll finish up with a flexible framework for your teen's entire high school, all 4 years or however many years they have left, even if it's just 1 more year. And it's a flexible framework in that you're making some assumptions for the future that may change a bit as you get closer to that year. But you'll know how to pivot your plan to accommodate any changes. And as a side note, and it's pretty important, especially for those with kids in the later high school years who are college bound, the process you learn in this workshop can actually be applied to your students when they're entering college, whether it's community college, a 4-year university, or both, which is what my daughters did. With my daughter's input, I use this same step-by-step process to plan and map out their college academic frameworks so they could see what their 4-year flexible plan looked like, take an active role in helping to develop it, and take more ownership of it. Then, when they met with their college counselor, they took their plan with them and could speak intelligently about it. And when the counselor suggested some changes based on their experience and expertise, they could then just update the plan accordingly if they were both in agreement. This was very empowering for each of my daughters. It became more of a dialogue instead of just shaking their heads yes to whatever the counselor suggested because they had no idea. That active role and empowerment helped my daughters manage their college years more purposefully. Plus, they had to pay for 30% of their college expenses, room, board, and tuition. So they certainly had quite a bit of skin in the game. So let me share with you the 4 steps for creating your student's high school academic framework. Each will have its own video on my YouTube channel, and each should be gone through in order. Step 1 is called graduation requirements, where I walk you through how to determine the requirements for your own student. Now, a lot of people don't like the word requirements because it sounds inflexible or too strict or structured, but don't let that fool you. You have total control over what you determine is best for your unique child based on what they're considering as their next step after high school. Step 2 is called framework setup, where I'll walk you through how to create your student's 4-year framework of subjects per year based on the graduation requirements you determined in step 1. This is a bit like a fun and easy puzzle as you walk through each year and decide what subjects are best taken when. Most subjects will easily fall into the framework as you go through this step. Step 3 is called Courses That Fit, where you'll use the framework from step 2 and explore the classes, courses, curriculum you might use for each of the subjects per year, ones that fit your student as well as the framework. This is where you'll tap into the resources that you already know of, or you'll research recommendations from fellow homeschoolers and Facebook and Instagram homeschool groups in order to hang the courses onto the framework. Kathy Duffy's curriculum reviews are also a great resource, which I've linked in the description and comments. Step 4 is called record keeping. Once you've gone through steps 1 through 3 and have your framework, also known as your student's academic plan or roadmap, filled in for your students' high school years. I'll walk you through record keeping for all of your students' classes, courses, so you know exactly what to record as each semester or year finishes. This will set you up beautifully for the creation of your students' transcript and their program of studies. Once you've gone through the record keeping video and your child is approaching 9th grade or later, you'll be ready for my transcript workshop. And as you go through the steps and create your child's high school academic framework, I encourage you to involve your student at different points in the process so they can provide input and help in the formation of their plan. They'll more likely take ownership of it if they're involved to some degree. So before you check out the next workshop video in the series, step 1, establishing graduation requirements. If this video has been helpful, please like the video and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss other videos in the series or others related to homeschooling through high school. Until next time, take care and God bless.